Hello and welcome. My name is Evgeny Rusakov and you are watching your favorite TVP World program, Interview from Vilnius. The security environment in Europe is changing rapidly and Lithuania is strengthening its defense capabilities in response. But are these measures enough to meet today's challenges? To discuss Lithuania's defense strategy and readiness, I am joined by Vaidotas Malinionis, a retired colonel from the Association of Colonels and a Team Europe direct expert. Vaidotas, thank you for joining us today, sir. Glad to see you in our studio.
Thank you for having me.
Vaidotas, firstly, has Europe finally realized that in the event of an attack, it can no longer take American support for granted?
I think yes, knowing, like before, yes, because the United States now reconsidering their priorities globally. And we know that not only Europe is priority for the United States, but also Indo-Pacific region, yes, and the Middle East. So, and taking into consideration that the war with Iran, yes, and China, so yes, United States reconsidering their priorities. And right now, administration declared 6 months of review of all forces globally, and we will see how it will look like. But message is very simple. Yes, we cannot rely, but we must rely in Europe more on our own capabilities.
Which makes sense.
Yes, which makes sense because we are adult people.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise, yes, and we should act like adult. We should take care about our defense. And of course, this to develop, reliable defense capabilities in Europe takes time. And of course, that time shouldn't be viewed as a weakness for our, adversaries. So, which means that we will have to, in Europe, adjust American approach and our capabilities. So, which means that some certain capabilities which are essential, we would like to have from the American side, and those capabilities we still don't have, for example. Yes, so yes, not rely, but we must
keep that in mind.
Yep, keep in mind, and we must reshape our, strategy. Yes.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, some analysts argue that Russia could pose a military threat to the Baltic states before 2030. So what's your assessment of this scenario?
I think the risk is high, I think, of this scenario, but it's not imminent risk, which means that it will depend on several factors. One is, of course, outcome of the Ukrainian-Russian war, because how it will end, of course, it will directly impact future Russia's behavior. Second is, of course, developments in Russia itself. If the regime will stay in power, and which means, for example, at certain point, the war between Russia and Ukraine is frozen, yes? And then Russia can keep building its offensive capabilities, yes? And that is a danger for us, which means that in Europe, in the Baltic states, in Lithuania, we have to act fast. If we are fast enough, then this threat, of course, will be not as imminent as it could be. So, as I mentioned, several factors. What will happen in Ukraine and Russia war, what will happen in Russia itself, and how we will be preparing for the defense.
So three factors.
Yes.
So you literally predicted my next question. So I wanted to ask if Lithuania has chosen the right strategy to strengthen its defense. Okay, then I'll ask another question. Are you, as a retired colonel, satisfied with what you see today, with what's happening with Lithuania's defense?
Yeah, we are moving to the right direction, and I would say that we are in the leading countries in Europe. If you compare with other countries, yes, We are leading together with Poland, Estonia, yes, and Latvia, Finland. Yes, we are leading countries from the perspective of how serious we look at the threats. Concerning the question about if I'm satisfied, probably not yet, because
why is that?
Because
what would you do differently then?
Because we have to develop capabilities, and we have to look into the processes. We have to modernize the processes, because war and threats are developing very rapidly, yes, and nevertheless, of course, we are allocating 5% of the GDP, but having only 5%, that's not enough. We have to prepare our society.
That's good.
We have to prepare, we have to develop defensive capabilities. We have to prepare and integrate drone technologies, yes. There are a lot of work to do, and which means that we have to look not at it's not about satisfaction, but it's about what else we have to do in order to be fast enough to overcome threats.
Okay, brilliant. So you're predicting all my questions. So in 2026, Lithuania's defense budget reached a record high of almost 4.8 billion euros. So, however, only a relatively small share of this budget has been allocated to drone capabilities, which you already mentioned. Given the lessons of the war in Ukraine, shouldn't Lithuania invest more heavily in drones?
Investment in drones itself, it's senseless, because drones are changing very rapidly, yes. One day they are okay, after 2 months they are useless, because we have to be modernized constantly, which means that we should focus not only on the hardware, but we also have to focus on the organizations. Not only organizations, also defense industry, research and development, organizations and military, and which means that we have to organize process of self-modernizing process, which precisely includes, drone technologies, artificial intelligence, and other technologies. Plus, drones alone are, they are. It's a good technology, but in composition with technologies what we already have, like, anti-missile systems, infantry units, mechanized units, motorized units, reconnaissance. So all this ecosystem has to be, it has to have capability what drone technologies, new technologies are offering, But that should be focused on the system, and we should be focusing on how to make processes faster and more efficient. We have to learn from Ukraine, because even our Chief of Defense, General Vaidotas, he sent one message that he is not satisfied with the procurement procedures, yes, because it takes years and years in order to get new system,
which
yes,
is not good.
Which is not good, yes, and so we have to also look very carefully at our bureaucracy, yes. We have to modernize it, and we have to adapt it to the threats which are coming, because threats developing faster than our regular peacetime bureaucracies.
Okay, so it's good that. Again, we talked about drones, so briefly, what is your overall assessment of the so-called drone wall initiative?
Drone wall, it's not a wall which is, in the direct sense. It's a system of, integrated technologies and the systems that we have already in place. And of course, it should be not only, domestic, but also international or European and NATO level system that should be developed on the organization like NATO. Yes, and drone wall concept is sensors technologies first of all. Yes, acoustic sensors. Visual sensors, radars, what we already have, yes, plus system of counter-drone measures, electromagnetic warfare capabilities, plus kinetic capabilities, and of course the decision-making and readiness concept. This is the drone wall, and this concept, of course, is interesting. And I understand that drone wall means that we will add new technologies to the system what we have right now.
Okay, technologies is good, but still let's discuss well, human resources, which is also one of the probably vital things in any of the armed forces. So the approved structure of the Lithuanian armed forces provides for the possibility of increasing the number of troops to 20,000. Do you think this planned force size will be sufficient?
It's better to have ready 20,000 troops
than less.
Than on the paper 500,000 troops, which are on the paper. But of course, 20,000 is actually the number which will be needed for the division, newly developing division. And of course, this is most important is how they are ready and how they are trained, how they are maintained, and if they have logistics, and if they are sufficient reserves, including personal reserves, because those 20,000, their goal is to cope with the immediate threat if for example invasion will happen. But reserves are needed, to win a war. So, which means that we have to also, beside that those 20,000, we also have to have big reserves, and I hope we are moving to that direction.
Plus, you've also mentioned society, so that's a very good point, to be honest. And how important is the role of ordinary citizens in Lithuania's defense today?
It is vitally important because armed forces, goal is to fight war, yes, and society, ordinary citizens' goal is to make country, sustainable life. So which means that without society makes country running, yes, and
that's right.
And society also generator of will to fight.
Sure.
Because without society, armed forces cannot exist. Because from society we have reserves, from society we have, all material support, from society we have, even, will to fight.
Sure.
So society is essential part, and I think society makes country running and makes that will, and without society we will not have a will to fight, actually.
Okay, my last question then, final question. Is Lithuania strengthening its defense quickly enough to keep pace with the changing security environment?
Yes, Lithuania moving to the right direction, yes, but I think we should speed up, because threats are real, level of threats are rising, yes, and of course we should speed up all processes, including what our Chief of Defense mentioned, but also we should look into the, our peacetime bureaucracy. Our peacetime bureaucracy should switch to the wartime decision-making organization, which means that we have to shorten all processes, we have to fasten, acquisition, we have to fasten all, implementations, weapon systems or capabilities which will come, in 20 or 35 could be too late. We need them earlier, which means that if we will not have time to buy the best equipment, maybe let's buy cheaper, but on time.
But
yes,
still,
yes, and still on time.
As quickly as possible.
So we have to teach our bureaucracy to act according to the realities.
Nothing more to add. Vaidotas, thank you so much for this wonderful conversation, and I really hope to see you once again in our studio with some important topic.
Thank you for the privilege.
And I would like to remind our viewers that our guest for today was Vaidotas Malinionis, a retired colonel from the Association of Colonels and a Team Europe direct expert. You're watching TVP World. Stay with us.